Hey, good evening. How is everybody? Happy Thursday for those who celebrate Thursday. How's everybody doing tonight? I'm on location here, so a little bit different of a backdrop, but we're going to have a great time tonight. And if you can hear me okay, go ahead and give me a thumbs up, give me a one in the chat, and let me know that you can hear me okay. As I got a portable webcam going on and all kinds of fun stuff. So I'm putting things together as we're getting started. I'll get the chat going here. Awesome. Thanks, Artsy lady. Appreciate it. Okay, cool. Thanks, Darren. Okay, give me 1 second. Let me get all my stuff out. And I will get rocking and rolling. I had a little bit of an issue with the with the software, and I want to see if I can make it work better today here. So let's see if we can get all this going. Give me 1 second. Okay. All right. I think we're gonna be ready to rock and roll here. So, how's everybody doing? Thanks so much for being here. We really appreciate it. For those who are new to this, we do this every single Thursday. Come rain or shine, as it's raining here in Sarasota as we speak. It's thunderstorming, and we are thrilled to be here and teach everything about mobile homes. So, if this is your first time, this is how we do it. I usually train on something for 10 to 15 minutes. Talk about something going on in the mobile home space, something that I feel like will bring value to the group. After that, we go through some questions that have been emailed into me throughout the week. And then after that, we finish up with some group questions in the chat. So during my, put my phone on vibrate here, during the presentation and during the questions, if you have any questions that you would like us to answer as a group, I'd be more than happy to do that. Just make sure you type them in the chat and we'll get rocking and rolling here towards the end. So if you haven't yet done so, go ahead and smash that thumbs up. That does us a huge favor because that lets everybody know in our community that we are in fact live, so more people can jump in, get this education. And if you haven't yet done so, please do us a huge favor, smash that subscribe button, become a part of the Mobile Home Dealer YouTube community. It doesn't cost you a dime, and you'll be on your way to being updated with everything that we have going on. So with that being said, let's go ahead and jump into tonight's topic. I think the name of the topic I said was how to get a home cheaper and how to negotiate. So we are going to talk about this and give you some insider tips and tricks that, again, I feel like nobody talks about in the industry. And the lack of good education in this industry is it blows my mind every time I talk to people. And our goal here at the Mobile Home Dealer is to just not be the home tour channel. We've done that for our last couple of years. We will continue to do that. Fear not. But we also want to kind of spread our wings a little bit, get into the education side of things, and really help the industry out as much as we possibly can. So with that being said, we are going to talk about how to get a home cheaper tonight. I'm going to come fast and furious. I'm going to share my screen and go over a lot of different tips and tricks here. Okay, so let me go ahead and get my software that hopefully works tonight. Well, that looks pretty cool. Okay, that wasn't the plan. Let's see if we can change this up. Okay, here we go. Let's try that. Well, okay. I'll go ahead and do it this way and see if we can't try it this way here. Okay, so what I want to train on, and I apologize, guys, for all of the ridiculous software issues that I'm having. Let's go ahead and talk about how you can get a home cheaper, okay? And I want to talk about, if you're looking to purchase a mobile home, what you can do right now that is kind of an insider tip and trick in order to save a chunk of money. Okay, if you follow these simple steps I'm going to talk about here today, I guarantee you, you're gonna be able to save yourself on the low end. You're going to save yourself several $1,000s. On the high end, it's probably going to be tens of thousands of dollars. So if you take anything away from our live stream today, then I hope that these tips and tricks that a lot of industry insiders know how to do, but they don't share with other people. It's able to help you on your journey to a lower priced home. Okay, so the first thing that you want to do is you immediately want to start looking for homes to price out with. Okay, now you can do this a bunch of different ways. The main one, and I'll try this again here, is you want to use a website. Okay, we bring it back up. Try this one more time. I apologize for the technical difficulty here, guys. This is kind of frustrating on my end too. Okay, can everybody see this okay? Please do me a huge favor, hit a 1 in the chat if you can hear this okay, or if you can see my screen okay, just so I know that this is working. Thanks, Darren. I appreciate it. Okay, all right. So first thing you want to do is you want to find a okay, so here we go. All right, so the first thing you want to do is you want to go and you want to find a mobile home park that you're interested in living in. Okay, so I just went and picked Colony Cove. Colony Cove is going to be the third largest mobile home park in the country. That's the largest one in Florida. There's like 2,000 houses in here. Okay, now with this, I want to show you how to be able to search through it. I'm just going to go ahead and click Colony Cove. Now you can use this website. Okay, it's called MH Village. You can use this for anything. I'll be honest with you guys. MH Village is the best product that the industry has. It's not great. Okay, it's not great by any stretch of the imagination, but it's the best product that we have. This is a way that you can search different homes in different parks. Okay, now the Mobile Home Dealer, which is the company that I'm the broker for, and the Mobile Home School, which is our educational side of things, we are in the process of building out a full education system with a mobile app. Okay, it's not going to be ready for several months, but we're essentially going to rework MH Village to make it much easier within the Mobile Home School. But that's for another conversation. Now, when you have this site, guys, you can search homes, parks, cities, all that kind of stuff. So I'm just going to go ahead and click Colony Cove. Okay, in Ellington, Florida. All right, so this is going to pop up here. Now, again, you can use this however you want to use it, but this is just to give you an idea of how to find homes and be able to start saving a lot of money very, very quickly. Okay, so I'm going to find Colony Cove. The first thing what I want to do is this will give you some generic information. 176 homes for sale. They got a couple for rent, a couple of vacant home sites. We're not going to pay attention to this number here. We are paying attention solely on how to save you a bunch of money. Okay, so when you scroll down here, it'll give you some information on the amount of homes in the neighborhood, 2,200. But we're looking to be able to save money. So the first tip you want to find out is how many days has the home been on market. Okay, now this is going to be used as a negotiation tactic when you decide to go and make an offer on a house. Okay, here's why. We specialize in selling mobile homes in parks with lot rent. Okay, what that means is you have a monthly payment that is owed to the park every single month, and that's going to be for a series of different items. The use of the land, usually if they throw in your water bill, your sewer bill, your trash bill, your lawn care, we call it the Big Five, and you'll see that on our educational videos on Sunday afternoon that we're putting out on our channel. But that lot rent is going to be owed every single month. Okay, now in my opinion, that's the benefit of living in a mobile home park, because you have a very low cost to carry the house, because within that lot rent, you have several different utilities that are included. Okay, some people will say that's a bad thing because they don't want to have that reoccurring payment. That's fine. I mean, I guess, but it's kind of the same thing as like property taxes if you own a single family home, because you don't have property taxes with this type of property. My point is, we have to understand that we are buying a property with a lot rent attached to it. So we want to first find out how long the property has been on the market. Okay, there's really no easy way to do this other than just kind of manual labor. Okay, and that's what I'm going to show you how to do it. It's not too labor intensive, so don't get concerned. But I'm going to type in Colony Cove, which is going to get me the park. Then for this demonstration, I'm going to click on this house. On two houses that I'm going to show you in this training, and both of them are different prices. Okay, so this is the first one. So I'm going to type on this guy, okay, 383 Colony Drive South, okay, 19.9, and it looks pretty good. All right, they have a couple of photos, but the photos are not so much the concern as it is a way for me to find a way to get this cheaper. All right, now it says price reduced. I don't really know what that tells me because the site doesn't tell me that. But if I go and I find out this address, okay, all I have to do is copy and paste that address, and I'm going to find it here. Voila. Okay, so now I'm going to find it, and let's see if I can have this set up here. One second. Here it is. Okay. So now I'm going to go ahead and find that. Now, all I did on this is I just literally Googled the address. I Googled the address and I found that here it is on Zillow. Okay. So again, all I did is type the neighborhood in MH Village. I found a home that looked pretty good within my budget. All right. Then I went and I Googled it. I found it pop on Zillow. Now let's take a look on this. When I start scrolling down here, it says it just took a $10,000 price cut today on 312. Ooh, this is very attractive to me. So I go down here and I start looking at the price. Well, the house was listed. Every Zillow property is going to have this price history. The price was listed for $29,000 on the 6th. It took a $10,000 price clip, or a 30% clip, a month after it was listed. That is significant. A 30% cut within a month. But here is a couple of things I want to look for. This number right here, how many days has the home been on market? 34 days. So it's been on the market for a month. They've already taken a 30% price rip. Okay, because they've taken such a significant price clip, that tells me they're a very motivated seller. Here is the $1 million tip for tonight. It goes by listed by. Everybody can see that. Tisha Williams, who I personally know, her phone number, but here is the kicker. It says Colony Cove. All right. That means that it's listed physically by the park themselves. Okay. So what that means is the park goes and tries to sell the home. Now, let's pause here for a second and let's discuss why this is so important to find. Okay. It's so important to find because we first have to understand how a mobile home park makes money. A mobile home park makes money by collecting lot rent. A mobile home park does not really make much money at all selling homes. Okay, that's not their core business. Their core business is the lot rent. The reason why this is so important to understand this, guys, is because when you see a home is listed by the park, that means the park is not getting usually what they want. They're usually not getting lot rent. Okay, because if they are selling the home, a lot of times they are not going to get that basic lot rent. If they're not getting their basic lot rent, that means they really want to sell the home. Okay, because they're not getting what the park ultimately wants. Okay, so when I see that the Colony Cove is selling the home, this immediately says this is potentially a very motivated seller because they just took a 30% price cut and Colony Cove is selling the home. Let me give you another example to kind of further this point. Okay, here's another example. Let me go to let's go Den Helder. This is even a better one. Okay, so I found this on the website as well, on MH Village. Okay, a key way is you got to find out, number one, how long the property has been on the market. Number two, how motivated are they to sell? Remember, the seller is paying lot rent every single month. They want to sell the home because they do not want to be paying that lot rent every month. For Colony Cove, it's about $1,200 a month. Okay, they don't want to be paying that $1,200. The easiest way to see this is anytime they put all offers are welcome. Okay, this right there tells you that the seller is essentially just looking to sell the house and get and be done with it, right? All offers are welcome. Now, as I scroll down here, I'm going to see the company who's selling the home. Okay, I know Connie. She works for this brokerage called Integrity Mobile Homes. Okay, fine. Now, the agent is selling the home. Now, the park is not selling it. Okay, that's fine. But all offers are welcome. So let me show you what I found when I drew this one up. And this will really make you real interested very, very quickly. Take a look at this, guys. Let me go back over here and keep bopping around my screens. Pardon me for this. Den Okay, so the same thing. I just took the address and I Googled the address 334 Den Helder Avenue. All offers welcome. Now, take a look at this 57 days. Okay, that doesn't really jump at me. And then they have a price cut of $5,000 in the third. Okay, everybody sees that. So about a week ago, they dropped to $5,000. Well, $5,000 off of 170 is not that big of a deal. Take a look at this. I go down to the price history. They've been trying to sell their home since 2022. Okay. Now they took it off for a little while. That's fine. But they still have been trying to sell their home in one way or another for 4 years. They took it off. They had a pending sale in 2022 for 189. It fell apart. They got frustrated. They took the house off. Now I understand that their house was off for a few years, but if you've ever tried to sell a house, once you actually pulled the trigger mentally and emotionally to sell the home, you want to sell it. All right. So they've actually been sitting on this thing arguably for 4 years. So the first thing you want to do is you want to find out how many days that the home has been on the market. Okay. That's the absolute first thing. The next thing you want to do is you want to start looking at the house. Okay. Now, when I look at this house here, here's a couple of things that immediately stick out to me. I want to look at the AC and I want to look at the roof. The AC and the roof are going to be, as we've discussed in previous trainings, usually two of your biggest line items when it comes to when it comes to repairing a home. Okay, the roof by far is the most expensive one. But when I look at this home, I see that it has a garage. Okay, that looks really nice. All right, so that's definitely going to be a plus as far as cost goes. But look over here, guys. I see an AC that's on a block. Okay, that tells me that's a newer AC. All right, so that's going to bring some value. When I look at the photos, the home is absolutely gorgeous. But I want to start looking in the ceiling to see if I see any types of coffee stains. Now, they may get penalized for a room that color. I don't know, but I'm being funny. I'm just being goofy here. Some people like Big Bird. Some people like Big Bird. God bless them. I'm just looking for anything that is going to jump out with the home that looks like it is going to be a problem. Okay, so for this home, I got the new AC because it's already on a concrete block. So that's going to tell me it's a newer home. The AC is going to bring money, so I can't really get a discount on that. Now, other things that I'm also going to look for in the home is any types of major issues. Okay, mismatched flooring. I'm looking for any type of roof issues. Any type of major problems that I see with the home is what I'm trying to find. But keep in mind, the key is when we look at this is we've got to first find how many days the home has been on market. Remember that the seller, once they've made the decision to sell the home, they want to get rid of that lot rent. Okay, they want to get rid of the lot rent. They want to sell it. They want to move on. Okay, now when you have the ability to find how many days the home has been on the market, okay, by going to MH Village, by searching the home, and then by going back and looking at it on Zillow to find the days in the market. Next, you want to find who is selling the home. Okay, if they're selling the home themselves, or if an agent is selling it, or if a park is selling it. Okay, then what we want to do is we want to start looking through these photos. If they have decent photos, we want to find what photos they have that immediately show that there are problems. Look for roof issues, look for AC issues. If the AC is on the ground, Okay, and it's not lifted. That's an old AC. It probably needs to be replaced. If we see any type of coffee stains on the ceiling, that's going to tell me that the ceiling is going to have issues. There's probably a roof leak. And remember what we talked about in previous trainings. A new roof is by far the most expensive repair for a mobile home. Generally speaking, you're looking somewhere around $5,000 to $6,000 for a new single wide roof, and about 8,000 to 10,000 for a double wide. Okay, so I'm looking for those items in these photos, and I am moving quickly to be able to identify where the issues are and how I can get the home cheaper. The next thing that we discussed is when we looked at this here, the fact that they just had all offers welcome. Okay, that's a gimme. All right. So if they really say all offers are welcome, that tells me that they are not getting any offers in the home. That spells, and I mean, and I'm being respectful to the agent who's selling this home, that spells to me absolute 100% desperation. They don't know how to market the home. So because they don't know how to market the home, they're just throwing all offers welcome. When I see that, I immediately am going to go in and I'm going to see, is it really all offers welcome? Okay, because you would be surprised how many times, and regardless if it's a park selling it, a for sale by owner selling it, or anything like that, when I see all offers are welcome or motivated seller, that tells me that you start to layer that in your description. That tells me that they are going to be very willing to take a ridiculously low amount of money. I know that because anytime we put motivated seller in our homes, then the seller is telling the agent or the seller is telling me, if I'm representing them, that they literally just want to walk away from the house. But we have to come up with a price. So anytime I see that it says all offers welcome or motivated seller, that's not a gimmick. In this business, that means the seller is literally just going to walk away from the house, or they're literally going to take whatever they can get just to be done with it and move on to the next stage of their life. That's where you can maximize. And I'm not trying to be like scumbaggy or anything like that, but that's where you can maximize your savings by just reading through the listing to see if it says all offers welcome or motivated seller. Another term that you'll see in this business is seller financing available. Seller financing available is when the seller essentially comes in and they play bank. Anytime you see seller financing available, that is like a Hail Mary to get the home sold. Okay. Anytime a seller really wants a price and they really want to get their money, no seller is ever going to sit there and say seller financing. Okay. They're going to sit there and say the price is the price. Maybe they negotiate, maybe they don't, but they're not going to go and play bank. If it says seller financing, that means that they're looking for a Hail Mary. That means that you could come in very, very quickly and say, hey, I have park approval. I'd like to structure a deal, make it work for everybody. And then you can get a massive, massive selling or a sales amount on that. So those are a couple of ways how to do that. But when you look for low cost homes, you're looking to get a deal on a home, the best thing I can suggest to you is to be respectful with the seller. Okay. If they have something out there that says that if they have something out there that says all offers are welcome or motivated seller or seller financing, okay, that means they're probably between a rock and a hard place financially. Okay, so I always suggest don't be like rough or disrespectful, but just really try to work with the seller to find out exactly why they are selling. And the key is how soon they're looking to sell. Okay, that's if they are advertising that they're looking to get just walk away from it. Now, the other way to work with a seller is, and to get a lower cost on the home, is if you're buying it directly from them and not using the mobile home dealer. If you're working directly with a seller, okay, always find out one main thing. Okay, here's the tip here. If you're working directly with a seller, find out one main thing. That is, find out why they are selling. Why they're selling. They may open up to you. They may divulge information. They may, not tell you much, but just ask why they're selling. Because more times than not, when you find out why they are selling, it 95% of the time is disguised as something else, but it comes down to one thing, guys. It comes down to one thing, and that one thing is time. It's always time. So let me give you a couple of ways they'll say it. Well, I want to move north to be a grandma. I'm missing my grandkids. Okay. Well, my husband is sick, and we want to make sure that everything is taken care of. Okay. Well, I want to move south to move to Florida, and I want to drink mojitos on the beach. Okay. All these things are smoke screens. Those are just smoke screens. See through the smoke screens, because playing the grandma, somebody is sick, wanting to drink mojitos on the beach, all that is based on I want to do something, and that has to do with time. Because it always has to do with time, then go back to the fact they're selling a home where they're paying lot rent every month, and they can't go and achieve their goal, whatever that may be, playing grandma, downsizing, whatever their thing is that they say, they can't go and do that, and they're paying lot rent every month. So that tells me right out of the chute, it's time. Because it's time, then that means that they're going to be very motivated to sell the home. They'll put on a big, tough guy or tough lady outfit and say, well, I don't need to really sell. That's a smoke screen. Once they tell you why they're selling, if it has anything to do with one of those things, which more times than not it does, it's based on time. So if you can go ahead and get them their time, then you can usually negotiate a much, much cheaper price. Anytime people say, oh, I don't really need to sell, or I'm just trying to figure this out or whatever, okay, all right, that's fine. But once we find out why they want to sell, more times than not, it has to do with time. Once it deals with time, then you can jump in and realize that because they're not able to go and do their activity that they want to do, and they're paying lot rent every month that they don't want to pay, you can jump in very, very quickly and get a much cheaper price. The next thing you want to do is you always want to look at any major issue that the home may have. Now, you're not looking at nickel and dime or be like, scumbaggy or anything like that. But again, like I said earlier in the training, look in the corner, look for those types of coffee stains, look for saggy floors, look for things that you feel confident that you can fix, or that you feel confident that you have the contacts to fix. Okay. Like, for instance, I am not handy. I'm the most unhandy person. It's embarrassing. Okay. So for me personally, buying a home, I would not want to take on a lot of jobs just because I would have to pay retail price, and that may eat into my budget. Okay. Let's say you have a friend who's handy, or maybe you're handy, or, you're a DIY kind of person. In that scenario, you can identify those things that we discussed, the roof issue, the bad AC, those types of things. Maybe you're an HVAC tech. Maybe you can get a good rehabbed AC for super cheap, and you can put it in yourself. That's going to be a very key point in order to get a home cheaper, is to take the items that you feel confident being able to do yourself, and then jumping in and negotiating those prices. So those are a couple of ways that you can immediately jump in and get a very low cost home. To review, you want to find how many days the home has been on market. Again, find the address, Google it, and put it into just google.com. The Zillow listing will pop. Search how many days it has been on market. That'll tell you right out of the chute. Take the days and divide it by 30 days in a month. That will tell you how many months they have paid lot rent on a home that they don't really want to sell, or that they don't really want to live in. Excuse me. That is going to tell you right out of the chute. They have already been paying $500, $1,000, whatever it is, dollars a month they don't want to pay. That's number one. You can immediately alleviate that problem. Point number two, find out who is selling the home, and then go and see how are they wording the description. Motivated seller, seller finance, will take any offers, that type of thing. At that point, then that is telling you right out of the chute, they're literally looking to walk away from the house. Now, the home that we discussed today in the training, $170,000 home, they're probably not going to walk away from that for zero money. But I wouldn't be surprised if they take a considerable price cut on that. Next one, if you go to see the house, or if you're looking at the house in photos, look for problems with the home that you feel like you can fix. Roof, AC, floors, the yellow bird paint color, all that type of stuff. And then think about how you can get those items fixed for cheaper. If you're a handy person, or you got to hook up with an HVAC guy, or an electrician, something like that. Okay. And then the next thing is, if you're talking to a customer or a seller, find out why they want to sell. remember, a lot of this is just going to be a smoke screen. We've all done it. Whether you sold a house or a car or a couch on Facebook Marketplace, we all kind of have played the game on a buyer and a seller. But remember, the vast majority of the time, the seller is looking to sell based on time. So if you can immediately be able to give them their goal, which is their time, with a fair price and alleviate the lot rent, you, my friend, can be able to get a smoking deal very, very quickly. So those are a couple of tips and tricks I hope you found beneficial on today's training. And those are ways that when I was buying and flipping homes, before I started the mobile home dealer and started selling homes, I was doing fix and flips. The mobile home dealer did about, about 50 or 60 fix and flips before we started actually selling the homes as the mobile home dealer that you know us today. And when I was doing the fix and flips, then I would use those exact same tactics to get the home for much cheaper than what they were asking for. Again, not being scumbaggy, just playing the game and understanding why are they looking to sell, what I feel like my team can do to get those items fixed, to get it back on the market. And by being able to do that, I think we did 62 fix and flips. Being able to do that in a pretty short period of time got me a really good idea of what sellers are really trying to get done and how you as a buyer can provide a win-win situation. You purchasing the home at a fair price, but a very discounted price, and getting the seller onto the next stage of their life, which again is giving back their time. So that's our training for tonight. I realized I put more lights in. I feel like I'm in a movie set, so I apologize. I'm going to turn those off real quick. And then we're going to jump into the questions that were emailed to me. So if you found benefit from that, give me a thumbs up. I'd really appreciate it. Okay, that's a little bit better, it looks like. All right, we got a couple of questions that have been emailed into me this week. And again, if you haven't yet done so, I'm going to go ahead and put up my email in the chat. Feel free to email me any question that you would like for me to answer. We have 2 that have come in this week. But please do not get upset with me. I will always respond to your email and say thank you so much. We're going to discuss this during the live stream. But sometimes people get frustrated with me, and I will say, thank you so much for sending this in. And then they say, well, why aren't you answering it in the email? It's because I'm asking you to send it so we have content so we can get it out here and discuss it as a group. Okay, so we have. I'm not going to mention his last name to protect his identity, but I'm going to say his quote unquote first name, Bill. So Bill has sent us a few questions in the past. He always emails me, always very, very kind. And he's got 2 questions here. All right. So he's looking to move to Florida, and he is looking at being able to buy the home virtually. And he is very concerned about, do people buy mobile homes virtually, or do they have to be in person to purchase the home? All right. So that's a loaded question. I'm going to walk you through this, Bill. So if you're on the call, thank you so much for being here. And we're going to answer it here in a second here. Sorry, guys. I don't feel like I got enough water today. I don't know if you've ever felt that way and you're kind of cotton mouth, but I apologize for that. So do people buy the homes virtually? Okay. The answer, Bill, is yes. Yes, people buy mobile homes virtually all the time. In fact, here's a fun statistic. About 85% of the mobile home dealer homes get sold sight unseen. They get sold off of our YouTube channel, or they get sold off of our buyer list, which is about 23,000 people at this point. So yes, people buy mobile homes all the time virtually. You can go forward and get approved by the park virtually as well. Most parks will have some type of, for their park approval process, they will have some type of online presence. Okay, not all, but some, most will have some type of online presence. So Bill, you can actually move forward and get the park approval virtually as well. Okay, now you can, if you need to get financing, you can get financing virtually. You don't need to go and meet, the banker in this business. there are three major companies, Bill, that finance homes. One is going to be called 21st Mortgage. Another one is going to be called Triad Financial, and its triplet brother is going to be Vanderbilt Mortgage. Now, the mobile home dealer doesn't have any affiliation with any one of them, Bill. You can use whoever you want, but you can Google them, and they'll do like the pre-approval very, very quickly on the website. But you can do everything virtually in this business. You don't physically have to be anywhere. Here's what I would suggest anybody does if you're going to go and buy a mobile home virtually. Now, this is going to go for a pre-owned home in a park, and this theory is also going to go for a brand new home. I would always suggest that you get a home inspection. Always get a home inspection if you're not going to be physically there to see the home. All right. There are no shortage of mobile home inspectors in the United States. All right. It's going to be well worth your money. It's going to cost you, depending on what part of the country you're in, somewhere between about $400 to $600. Okay, to get a mobile home inspection. The reason why I strongly suggest you get one is because if you can't be there, having a third party with a trained professional eye to be able to see what you're looking at buying and then go forward and say, yes, these are the issues, these are the things that you should know about. It's the best $400 to $600 that you're going to possibly spend on a mobile home purchase. Is having a professional home inspector go and look at the house if you're not there. Now, when you think about that, $400 to $600, that's not pocket change, and I'm not trying to make it sound like it is. I understand that is a chunk of money. But if you mentioned in your email, Bill, you're looking to spend about $31,000 on a house. So for me, for my dollar, if I'm going to spend 30 grand on a massive purchase like a house, then I'm going to be not excited, but I'm going to be very willing and ready to spend $400 or $500 for a professional to do a once over on the house to tell me what I'm looking at buying. So can you do everything virtually? Yes, you definitely can. My kind of suggestion would be, if you go and you do that, get a home inspection. Okay, definitely go and do that. Now, the next question that Bill has is going to be with his park approval. Now, I'm not going to go into the details because I want to protect our friend Bill. Okay, but he's going through park approval, and guys, I get questions about park approval all the time. We kind of go over this on a regular basis, so forgive me if I don't go over it enough. But park approval is going to be a necessary item and a necessary process that you're going to need to go through if you buy a home in a mobile home park with lot rent. Okay, so let me talk about park approval real quick, and this is going to tie into our friend Bill's question. Park approval is a process that everybody's going to have to go through in order to legally buy a house in a park with lot rent. Parks, a lot of times make park approval way more difficult and way more detailed than it needs to be. It freaking kills me, to be honest with you, what some of these park managers will do for park approval. But essentially what it'll do is it'll boil down to three things. Okay, they're essentially going to look at your criminal history, your credit, and then the last one is money. Okay, now the criminal history is your criminal background. If you got a speeding ticket 2 years ago, it's no big deal. The big thing with the criminal, just so everybody knows, is you're going to get flagged if you have a violent or a sexual based felony. Now, I'm not going to get into that. You guys can use your imagination on that, but that's usually going to be like the hard pass. Okay. Then if you go from there, they're going to look at credit. Now, what I've seen with parks for really about the past year and a half is a lot of parks don't focus on credit. So if you have a kind of a checkered past with credit, whatever that may be, they really look on the credit. They really look for evictions. And they look for evictions within the past 18 months. Okay, that's kind of like the magic. They won't tell you, but this is we'll do a credit check. Well, my credit is terrible. Well, then they'll kind of go in. But really, what they're looking for with the credit check is they're looking for evictions within the past 18 to 24 months. And then the third one is money. Money is a loaded gun. A lot of times, what they're talking about with money is they're essentially looking to gross wages to lot rent ratio. So if the lot rent is $500 and you're a single person applying to be in a mobile home park, they're usually looking for a 3 times multiplier. Okay, that's going to be around $1,500. If you have you and a spouse, or you and a brother, or you and your partner, whatever it is, then again, they're going to take both people's combined income and figure that out. Okay. Now, here's the key on the money, and this ties into our friend Bill's question. Our friend Bill, and he mentioned how much what he has in his retirement, which is a lot of information that he gave me. I'm not going to mention that, but Bill's sitting pretty. I'll just, you're from the Midwest, you know what that means. You're sitting pretty, you're looking good. All right. So his retirement, he's loaded with his retirement money, but he doesn't have really much monthly income. Okay. So his question is, I've got a bunch of money in my retirement, but I don't make a lot of money per month. Is that going to affect me? And that's a question we get asked all the time, because they ask, we talk about money, and parks always talk about, you need to make, 3 times lot rent. But what happens if you don't have 3 times lot rent in income, but you have a bunch of money in a savings account, in a retirement account, a pension, that kind of stuff, right? So can you get approved? Well, I'll answer that 2 ways. Number one, you got to check with the park office, and that's a horrible answer for you, Bill, but you do have to check with the park office because every park's different. Number 2, I have seen more parks be very lenient with that. And I've seen this more of a thing over like the past year and a half, is that whether it's myself or our mobile home dealer sales team or whatever, they'll be like, hey, Mark, I don't know if this person's going to get approved because they got a big bag of money in their retirement, but they make literally no money or very little money, month to month. And I see people get approved all the time like that. So I don't have like a real hard line answer for this for you, Bill. But I would say that if you have a lot of money in your investments, you've got a solid, credit score, you don't have evictions, the felony thing is not an issue, then I would say you're probably in a really good position. I would just talk to the mobile home park and say, hey, this is kind of my situation. You don't need to tell them as much information as you told me as far as like what's in your retirement, like the actual money. But you might just kind of poke the bear and say, hey, does this work? I have seen more people get approved over the past, like I said, year and a half, who don't make a lot of money month to month, but have a bunch of money in investments, and they get approved that way. The big problem that you're going to have with this is, how are you going to pay the lot rent? I mean, that's like the unsexy thing to talk about. But Bill, if you have a bunch of money in your investments, but you don't have much money month to month, are you going to sell some of your investments? When do you have access to that money? And these are all questions that you need to answer for yourself, Bill. But when are you going to have access to that money? Because if the park approves you, they're approving you based on the credit, the criminal, and the money. But the rent is still due, right? Like the lot rent still has to be paid. So if you're in that situation, whether you're Bill, our friend Bill here, or you're somebody else, you have got to remember that even if a park approves you, the responsibility comes on you to pay the lot rent. Does that make sense? So always remember that if they approve you and you're thinking like, oh, am I going to get approved? And then you do get approved, you eventually either have to sell the investments, you eventually have to go and get a part-time job, whatever you have to do, because if the park approves you, they're believing that you're going to pay them, and your responsibility is to pay them on the first of the month. Now, if you don't pay them, well, now we got big problems, because then your house is going to go into eviction, and you never want to get involved in that, Bill. So that'll give you a very good idea as far as, do people buy these homes virtually? Yes, but if you're going to buy them virtually, please do yourself a favor. It's up to you. It's up to you if you want to do it. But I would strongly suggest you get a home inspection, pay the money, have a professional look at the house before you sign on the dotted line. And Bill, that goes for pre-existing homes and brand new homes. Just because the house is brand new on a dealership lot, and I can tell you this with 100% confidence, because I work outside of the mobile home dealer with about 6 or 7 different manufacturers. I've been to not hundreds, probably around 100 different manufacturer lots, and I've walked in thousands of brand new houses, and I've seen all kinds of problems. So it doesn't matter if you're getting a brand new house or if you're buying a pre-existing home. Always look for that home inspection. I guarantee you it's going to be the best money you'll ever spend on a mobile home deal if you physically can't be there. Okay, so that's the first thing. Second thing is, yes, you can do everything virtually. Some parks, if they're very like old school, they'll do like the the mail-in park approval. That's becoming less and less of a thing. More people are doing it online with like an online portal. So yes, you can do everything virtually. You can do your loan paperwork virtually. And then as far as the park approval goes, remember the three things. It's going to be money, criminal, and credit. They're mainly looking on the credit. They're looking for evictions within the past, say, 12 to 24 months. And the money, I see a lot of parks approving people if they have a bag of money, but not much money month to month, but it comes to your responsibility then to pay the lot rent. So Bill, thanks so much for the questions. Those were the only two questions we got in today, but very good ones. So let's jump in to the chat. And remember, guys, go ahead and type your question in to the chat, and I'll be happy to answer it. Let's talk mobiles. I'm going to go ahead and put a link in the chat here. This is for the Mobile Home School. If you haven't yet done so, make sure you click on that link. It's going to send you to our educational platform that we've been working on for about 6 months now. We're very excited about. And that is going to have a free PDF for the top 10 biggest mistakes I see people making when they buy mobile homes and how you can avoid them. It's totally free. Doesn't cost you a dime. It's going to go there. They're going to ask for your email, and then we're going to email over the PDF. And if you're interested, we also have ebooks and courses that you can buy, but the PDF is free. And we've had, it looks like over 1,700 people have gotten the free PDF already, and we're excited to be able to help that many people. So the response has been fantastic. Over 1,700 free PDF downloads. And if you haven't yet done it, feel free to click on that link, and we'll get you to it right away. All right, Frankie Sanchez, 6341. Great to see you in Puerto Rico. I was just in Puerto Rico a few months ago. I've been there several times. Absolutely beautiful over there. Okay, I would like to know how to get permanent, low permanent lot rent. Well, Frankie, I don't know if I can help you with that, sir, because I don't really know how to get permanent low lot rent. Lot rent, generally speaking, Frankie, will increase once a year. Sometimes it'll increase on the first of the year, and sometimes it'll increase on a fiscal year, okay? About 95% of all mobile home parks increase lot rent once a year, and it's going to be on the first of the year. They usually give their tenants, the residents, 90 days notice of the new lot rent increase. So that'll be right around, we'll say like Labor Day, October 1st-ish. But as far as permanent lot rent, I don't know how we could get you permanent low lot rent, because most parks are going to increase it every year, and that is based on the increase in property taxes, the increase in insurance, and the increase on vendor bills. So like landscapers, pool guys, flower ladies, that kind of stuff. So the more they charge the park, the more the park charges the residents. Hey, Ron, good to see you. Okay, Ron's got a question. $1,000 budget. Okay, is it possible to find a mobile home 55 or campground setting with water, pet friendly? Ron, I don't know if that's $1,000 budget for lot rent or $1,000 budget for the house. Let me know in the question, or let me know in the chat if you're still in the call, Ron, and I'll clarify that. $1,000 lot rent, yes, 100%. We just took a listing in a town called Avon Park, Florida today. I was there filming it, and lot rent there is under 600. It's directly on a lake called Lake Bonnet. I think it's like 525, 530 on lot rent. The house is like 20 grand. That house is probably going to sell probably the day the video comes out. So so that house is awesome. So yes, $1,000 for lot rent with water. Yeah, you can get that all day long, Ron, on lot rent. If you're looking for a house for $1,000, do they exist? Yeah, they do. But you're going to be a lot easier to find $1,000 lot rent, Ron, than $1,000 houses. But yeah, yeah, you got plenty of opportunities with that. Family Life 2, do you have a finder's fee if I found you a home to sell or do a video? Um, email us directly, Family Life 2. Email me at my email just right under your comment, and let's jump into that. Let's see what you're thinking of doing. I don't want to take up time on the call with that, but yeah, email me directly, mark@sellmobilehome.com. Let me know what you're thinking, and let's see if we can work together and all that kind of stuff. We do have people asking me to come out and film homes and film parks, just for YouTube content, and I've done that in the past, and I'm always happy to do that, because my goal is to get as much information, education, home tours, all that type of stuff out to the community as much as possible. So I'm always happy to go and film new parks and new homes. Yeah, absolutely. But just email me directly, and let's see if we can't get on the same page with that. Sunshine Twilight, if someone put in an offer and got an inspection, but the sale didn't go through, would you need to get another inspection? Or do you have access to that information? So here's what I can tell you. The person who bought the inspection, that's their property. Okay, so let me give you an example of what happened actually last week. We had a home for sale with a mobile home dealer with one of our team members. The buyer came forward and they got a home inspection. Okay, they wound up not buying the house for whatever reason. Somehow, some way, the home inspection, the fact that they paid for a home inspection got out around the neighborhood. The neighbor came over and said, "Hey, I want to buy the house." Our team member said, "Great." They said, "Yeah, but I heard a home inspection was already done. Did that happen?" And the team member said, "Yes." And they said, "Well, I want the home inspection." Well, I can't give you the home inspection because it's not my property. The person who paid for the home inspection, it's their property. Okay, so in that situation, they got kind of feisty with the team member, with the mobile home dealer team member, and said, "Well, I don't want to pay for another home inspection if they just did one. You need to give it to me." Well, nobody needs to do anything, right? So that kind of was the wrong approach from the buyer. But the direct answer is the person who paid for the home inspection, that's their property because they paid for it. So us as a brokerage firm, we do not give that out to somebody because it's not our property. So in that situation, if a home inspection was done, they didn't buy the house, and somebody else comes in and says, "Hey, I want to buy this house. Has a home inspection been done?" And the broker in the situation says, "Yeah, home inspection's been done, but we can't give it to you because it's not our property. We didn't pay for it." So hope that gives you a better idea on that. I would always get my own home inspection. Just to be honest with you, I would always go and get my home inspection from a inspector that I believe in and that I think is going to do a good job. Because, no offense to any home inspectors who are on the call, I know a lot of fantastic home inspectors. I know a lot of horrible home inspectors. So if I'm going to go and buy a house and spend that kind of money, I'm going to go and get somebody that I trust, that I believe in, that I'm going to vet, and then go and pay them. So I'm always going to get my own home inspection. Hey, Bill Engel 565. Good to see you in the call. Good to see you. Okay. Hey, what's up, Darren? 5612. Always good to see you in the chat, man. Okay, so question. If you pay lot rent to a park, okay, are you in the position to hold the office responsible for tree trimming, road repair, etc.? So that's a great question, Darren. What I would say is that let me back the truck up here. When you own a house, and Darren, you know this, I'm sure, because you're in a lot of these chats. But for the people who are new to this, what Darren essentially is asking is, if you buy a home in a park and you pay lot rent, then technically speaking, if we're being totally legal, you don't own the land the home sits on. That's actually park land. That's why you pay lot rent or lease rent, okay? Because you're leasing the land. So what Darren is asking is, well, if I don't own the land and I'm paying lot rent and the road is all beat up, then can I talk to the park and be like, hey, I'm paying you lot rent, fix the road? Is essentially what he's saying, and that makes perfect sense. So the park has the ability to disperse funds as they see fit. Most parks are pretty good at that. If you don't feel like the park is like trimming the trees, or you've got a problem with the um, like a pothole, or like the roads falling apart, then go and talk to the park office. They're usually very reasonable with that. Here's what I can tell you though. What park managers are going to do is they're going to put their money towards more group items. Okay, so they're going to put the money first towards if there's a storm, the storm cleanup. If the pool pump is out and the pool needs to get serviced, they're going to use that money for the pool. They're going to use the pool. They're going to use the money for the leaky roof and the activity center. Things that everybody is affected with, they're going to use those items first. Then they're going to go and use the funds towards that one tree that's kind of leaning on your property. Okay. Most parks, I can tell you, is that if it's honestly like a reasonable annoyance that like a branch is in your gutter, and you're like, hey, like I don't have a 30-foot ladder, I need this taken care of. Just about every park is going to jump in there and take care of it. So don't feel like they're going to be nickel and dime you with that stuff. But to be fair, when you live in a community, you have to understand, not you, Darren, but people in general have to understand that if there's 100 people, 100 families in the park, you can't be the Karen, okay, if you will, of the park and say, oh, well, there's a leaf on my driveway that is blown, can you get that taken care of? So generally speaking, they're going to first take the big money and they're going to work on the community projects. Secondarily, if there's something like in your property that's let's be honest, like a legitimate concern, parks are going to take care of it. They're going to jump right in there, 100%. They actually do a fantastic job with that. So I hope that helps answer your question there, Darren. Hey, Parker, C Parker 777. No problem, man. Happy that you're in the on the call. You're welcome anytime you show up. So he's asking, what can a buyer do if they don't want to deal with the seller's furniture and decor? Okay, great question. So probably 75% of houses that are pre-owned, they're going to come with furniture. Okay, they might not come with everything, saucers and spoons and stuff like that, but they're going to come with furniture. And you hear me do the voiceovers when I say that, like it's a good starter pack. And it is a good starter pack. Some people buy these homes as like secondary homes, and it's kind of nice to have a couch and a TV and like a kitchen table, that kind of stuff. Whether they use it or not, it's nice to have. So what C Parker is asking for is, can you essentially, like, what happens if you don't want the furniture? Well, if you don't want the furniture, and you clearly tell the seller, hey, I want the house vacant, like I don't want anything in it. Most sellers will do one of two things. Either they will move the stuff out or pay somebody to get it moved. Or if that's like the deal breaker, C Parker, and you're like, look, I'm not going to buy the house unless that nasty couch is pulled, okay? Then most sellers who want to sell it, which is kind of what we were talking about earlier in the call, C Parker, we're talking about how to get a deal on a mobile home. Most sellers will just be like, look, it's going to cost, I'm making this number up, so work with me. It's going to cost $500 to hire a junk removal company. So what we'll do is we'll take $500 off of it, and you, buyer, you figure it out. It's the fancy word in this business is called a price concession. Essentially what that is if you're like, hey, I don't want any of that stuff there. And they're like, hey, we don't live there anymore. We've moved to another state. It was a secondary home, like whatever the story is. And I'm too old, or my knees hurt, or whatever the situation is. I don't want to go down there and screw around with finding somebody to move it. I physically am unable to move it. Then in that situation, if I was buying the house, I'd be like, okay, that's fine. I want $500, $1,000 off of it, and I'll take care of it. That's the way I see that happen all the time. Or what buyers will do is they will take the furniture or whatever's in the house and have like a yard sale, or they will go and do like the Facebook Marketplace thing. Take pictures with their cell phone, post it on their Facebook account, and sell it that kind of way. I've also seen buyers be like, I'm not messing around with that. I don't want people coming to my house buying a $20 couch. Like, I don't want to screw with it. And then what they'll do is they'll just negotiate out a price for a junk removal company. And that's literally the most common way I see that being handled. Hey, Will Rose, happy to have you a part of the team, man. Love seeing you in the comments. Any modular communities? We don't handle a lot of modular communities. Modular homes are becoming a bigger and bigger thing for brand new properties. For instance, I'll be speaking at the Biloxi Manufactured Home Show next week. I head up there on Sunday of this week. I'll be there Monday and Tuesday. I speak on Monday night. And there's going to be some modular homes there. So there were some modular homes at the Kentucky show that I spoke at in January. So more and more manufacturers are doing modular homes, and they're really cool. Like, they're super neat, but not a lot of modular home communities specifically. You bet, Family Life. Got about 5 or 6 minutes, guys. I'll get through as many questions as I can here. Sunshine Twilight, yeah. I mean, home inspectors make decent money. I know a lot of people who've spun off from being a home inspector and started their own company. So it goes either way. Okay, Ron. So $1,000 for lot rent and small trailer. Okay. Yeah, you can do that, Ron. You can do that. Lot rent, not on the coast, absolutely. Yeah, like I mentioned earlier in the call, we were in Avon Park today, and they had a waterfront there for like $525. As far as prices of homes for less than $1,000, and you could probably find it. The main thing what I would do, Ron, is if you want to buy a home for $1,000, here's a tip that I did in my house flipping days. Call the park office and ask what homes, ask if they have any homes in eviction. That would be like the equivalent of, like, in the single family world, asking if they have a foreclosure. You probably won't be able to tour them. If you do, you won't really get like a full home inspection, and it's kind of a buyer beware. But most parks always have, especially bigger parks, they will have homes that are getting ready to be in eviction, and the seller is literally handing the title to the park office and walking away. It's very sad, but it happens every day in this business. I would ask about that. Hey, park manager, do you have any homes that are in eviction? They'll tell you. They'll tell you. And just when you hear yes, that's your go. That's your go word, because there are homes in every park that like we talked about Colony Cove earlier on this call. I bet they probably have no less than probably 50 or 60 homes in that neighborhood in eviction. That's probably being very generous on that number, and they're just looking to dump those houses and go on. So, yeah. The Life and Set ending. Good to see you in here. Welcome. The email address for correspondence. Are you talking about for the mobile home dealer? Are you talking about the mobile home school, or what do you? I'll put in both here. So the support, Darren, for the mobile home school, which is our training and education arm of the mobile home dealer, that's going to be the support at themobilehomeschool.com. And then if you need to speak, if you want to send in a question directly for our live streams, then email me directly at mark@sellmobilehome.com. Good to see you, Parker. Happy that helped you out. Hey, Teflon. Good to see you. Good to see you. Appreciate you being a part of the community. So, guys, as we wrap things up here, like give you a preview of kind of what we got coming on. Man, we have so many cool homes coming up. I'm looking at my schedule here behind my screen. It looks like we've got homes booked out for the next 4 weeks already on home tours. So we got some really cool ones going on. A couple ones that I've been excited about. If you're looking, we're doing a special release tomorrow at 4 p.m. We usually never put videos up on Friday for a lot of reasons. But we're putting out a video tomorrow at 4 p.m. We literally hardly ever do this. So if you're looking for a very low cost home, okay, this home's like 12 grand, and I think lot rent's like 450, I think. But we're putting it out on a Friday to try to test to see if it's going to be, honestly, to test to see if people are going to watch it. It's going to be a steal of a deal, but it's coming out tomorrow. So at 4 p.m. So if you're looking for like a super low cost home, it needs a little TLC. Okay. I mean, it's habitable. It's totally fine, but it's missing like a stove. So you're going to get, you're going to need a stove. Whoop-de-doo. And the rest of the stuff, they did like 10 grand worth of updates to the home. The workers walked off the job. The seller said to heck with it. They're selling it. So we're putting this video out tomorrow at 4 o'clock. Let me know what you think about it. We usually never put videos out on Friday, but we're doing it tomorrow as kind of like a one-off. It's going to come out tomorrow at 4 p.m. Super cheap house, super cheap lot rent. It's on the water. So Ron, this might be right up your alley, buddy. That might be something to take a look at. So that's going to be a cool house. We've got some awesome houses coming up in Central Florida over the next couple of weeks. And that's going to be a lot of really cool houses. We have a really, really nice one, a 2018 huge double wide. It's like 1,800 square feet. That's coming up. That's going to be a little bit more expensive. But that's a really cool house. That's going to come up here next Monday. We've got a super cool remodel by Anna Maria Island that's coming up. The guy put over 100 grand into the house. He's selling it for like 55. Just has to sell it and move on. He's a construction guy. That's super cool. So if you want to see a really neat like beach bungalow house, that's going to come out on the channel next week. On Sunday, we have our second educational video. We're doing the educational videos every Sunday at 12 noon. Make sure you take a look at that. It's what I do on those educational videos is I take one topic every week. I hit it hard for 5 to 6 minutes and go over it in detail. So make sure if you're looking to learn more about mobile homes, how to get good deals, how to sell a home, all that kind of stuff, we are going to be setting aside Sunday afternoon videos from now until as long as I can possibly create them for every Sunday on educational topics. Okay, so Sunday we got a really cool video talking about how to save money on lot rent, which is going to be a really cool one. A lot of people don't know how to do that, and the mobile home dealer wants to teach you how to save money on that. Let's see what else we got coming up. I'll be in Biloxi. I go up to Biloxi on Sunday this week. I'll be traveling. I'll be up there Monday and Tuesday speaking at the Biloxi Manufactured Home event on Monday night, like I said. While I'm also there, I'll be filming a bunch of brand new homes. I think I'm doing about 15 different home tours that I'm filming. So make sure you keep an eye out for that. So we have a bunch of new home tours coming out, like brand new homes. So I'll be up there in Mississippi doing that next week. So a lot of super exciting things going on. Of course, if you haven't yet done so, please make sure that you take a look at. I put the link there in the chat. Stop by the mobilehomeschool.com. I put the link in the chat there and pick up your free PDF. That's going to go over the top 10 biggest mistakes I see people make with buying mobile homes. The mobile home dealer has brokered over 600 homes at this point, and it's kind of a reoccurring theme. We see that the top 10 mistakes continue to be made. So I just created a free download. It gets emailed to you right away and costs you nothing. We also have a book that I just wrote on there that I'm very proud of. That's not free. It's very cheap. It's less than $20 to buy the book. And then we also have a bunch of we have a course that we created as well. So if you want to go through a full course on how to buy a mobile home from start to finish, I talk about titles. I talk about how to buy it yourself without a broker. I talk about there's an interview in that course about park management approval. So if you have questions about park management, there's an interview with a park manager about 45 minutes long where I interview her. She tells us all the information. Talked about home inspections on this call as well. We have about an hour interview with a home inspector who only does mobile homes. That's worth its weight in gold. So that course is very low cost for everything that we put into it. It's about 7 hours worth of recordings in there. So that's the mobile homeschool project that we're starting to work on as well. But starting off with the PDF, I think everybody would learn a few things on that. And that's free, just at the mobilehomeschool.com. So very low cost products, but if you want just something free, just to kind of do a taste test, you can pick it up here. today at no cost. So a lot of very exciting things coming on with the mobile home dealer. Thank you so much for being a part of the live stream today. Hope you enjoyed it and you learned how to get a good deal on a mobile home. Again, checking out how many days the house has been listed and going down the process and the steps that we went over at the beginning of the call. So guys, thank you so much for being willing to go through with my goofy software. We got it figured out here tonight, and then next week will even be that much better. Got an awesome week with videos. Make sure you check out that super cheap house tomorrow night at 4 o'clock. It's going to launch, and then the educational video on Sunday afternoon, as I hope everybody finds benefit in that as well. So as we wrap up tonight, guys, thank you so much for being a part of this. As always, my name is Mark Kaiser. You've been with the Mobile Home Dealer. We'll see you all on the next one. Take care, guys.